everyone. How are you all doing? I hope everyone is doing fine and safe in their homes. So today we'll be doing some more ballet stretching just to keep ourselves nice and warm and stretch, work on flexibility and strengthening. So we're gonna touch the basics that I've done in the past. We'll go over some of the newer things I did in a previous video and anything new that we can work on. Alrighty? Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with a butterfly. Oh, I'm sorry about that if I start coughing. Alrighty, so let's just stay a moment and just flap up and down. Really work on that. We're working on our hip cavity. Be sure it's nice and flexible. Let's go a little higher. Bring our feet close to our body. And let's push down onto our knees. Now, if you're already in a position like this, what you can do is flex the toes, keep the heels together, and push. Very good. And let's stretch forward as far as we can. And come back up. Now I'm going to turn myself around a little bit so you can look at my back. Nice and perpendicular. We're gonna go forward, keeping this head alignment and the tailbone in one straight line. And straight to come back up. And now let's curve. So just imagine like you're curving, you're rolling something. So curve back up. Very good. Now we will switch from our straightening to curve and curve to straight. So straight and curving upward and curving downward to straighten up. Very good. I'll go over one side. So as you can see, keeping both legs nice and straight, stretching, stretching. And even though this is a stretch, it's always good to keep in mind your set line of symmetry as you curve. And that you're not over here, you're reaching more diagonal. Over. All the way around. Up. Over. All the way around. And up. Very good. I'm going to put my hair up. That way you guys can see me better. Very good. This time we're going to walk. So when we walk, we're going to walk with our hands. We're going to go to the side and just start walking as far as you can along the sides and reverse in walking. This will help you try to get low and really put your weight forward instead of all the weight down here. Very good. And let's work on our heads. Up and down. Side to side. circle. Circling, 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 circling. And reverse circular. Circular, 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 circular. Very good. Let's stretch our arms. Stretching one side. And stretching the other hand. Bringing it behind. And I popped, my bad. And stretching it behind. Good. Do some circles with our arms, trying to keep that back straight. Just keep going. Try to keep those shoulders down. And imagining that your back is completely flat. So your shoulders are not sticking out. They're in, they're right under yourself. Reverse. Very good. Let's go into our diamond. And stretching all the way. Very good. So I would recommend, if there's any part of your foot that's not doing so well, yourself or someone at home that's comfortable doing it, ask for a foot massage. Just rub any area, keep this nice and warm. Remember, our feet are the tools to get us to do turns, jumps, leaps, to just keep us vertical so we can walk and run. So we always need to pamper our feet, really. We should always take care of them. Ready? So flex and point. Flex and point. Flex and point. Flex and point. And you should always, always, always making sure that you have that straight line going. Okay? Very good. And one up and switch. Switch and switch. Switch, switch, switch. Circle one side or one direction. Trying to keep this still turned out and reverse. Very good. Keeping your toe pointed, and I will put them out here so you can see. Just the toes. And down. And down. And down. Very good. Keeping the foot flexed. Toes up and down, up and down, and down, and down. Very good. Now, a good exercise to do, but always be careful, always be safe about it, and making sure that you're wearing at least ballet shoes. Find a bookshelf or some piece of furniture that has a little bit of a gap so you can slide your foot in. And what you're going to do, you're going to slide backwards, trying to aim for those toes to stay on the ground. And try to push, 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 push. And the idea is to help keep this arch in the foot pointed. Because this is not a correct pointed foot. we really need to think that the pointing of the feet comes from up here rather than down here. So it's important that when you're pointing, that it's coming from up here. So this is a good way to just stretch it out like that. Very good. All right, so now let's go into our thigh rotations from our hips. Ready? And first, point, open, first, together. Point, open, first, together. Really think. You're turning, keeping those knees straight. You're reaching those pinky toes as close to the ground as possible while keeping those legs straight. When you're flexed, you also want to try to get those baby toes on the floor, but if you bend your knees, it doesn't work that way. And this only shows how much rotation you do have. So the rotation that you can get here determines how far your feet will go. So here, point of first, together. And now I'll do reverse, first, point, together, up. First, point, together, up. And you just keep going. Okay, a couple times that way. Very good. Out, make sure, see, I started to curve my foot. Keep that straight. Very good. Ready? And let's reach as far down as possible. Come back up. And all the way down. Come back up. We're going to try to reach further down. Keeping those legs up very straight. And first position, reaching. Come back up. Good. And then at your own pace, kicking. Kicking. The idea is to have a controlled kick, not just kicking randomly, not thinking about legs straight, your turn out, your arch, your toes. So very controlled, really thinking core and thinking and lifting from your toes instead of from your thighs. So just do it as many times as you would like to do it. Remember, this is benefiting yourself. You know your limitations, you know your strengths and weaknesses. It's always good to work on those weaknesses and to just correct anything in your strengths. Very good. So now we're going to bring our legs back up, or you can even have one leg straight. But what you're going to do is you're going to bend one leg and twist and switch, good twist. Very good. Okay. Then I think this is an exercise that I taught, and this is at your own risk and whatever limitations you have, grabbing from your inner arch, your calf, your knee, your thigh, whatever you can hold. I'm going to just grab it, try to keep that turn out going, leg straight, toe pointed. This is even fine, as long as you're pulling yourself up and you feel the work going. Do that again, the other leg. You're going to do that going to the sides. And going to the sides. Try to make sure to stay as straight as possible when you do this. Always a hard thing to do. So if you're here, just try to keep it as turned out as possible. Very good. We're going to go back into our sitting position. You're going to grab your leg as if you're holding a baby and just pull it towards your body. Trying to keep it as straight as you can possibly do. And switch. Very good. Now we're gonna do some stretching on our, lying on our backs, and then we'll go into our stomach. So first thing we'll do, these are some exercises that you can do. They also work as ab workout, which is important because, believe it or not, as dancers, we have to keep our core in. This is an important thing that you can work for yourself. So, keeping your hands close to your buttocks or out here. You're gonna lift up and you're gonna go into first position. So this is one of the exercises. Imagining that you're in a plie. So make sure your knees are not going towards your chest. They are going away from each other. This is the idea. Thinking we have rubber bands, you're pulling away. Okay, so plie, and first, plie, and first, grand plie as low as you can, and coming back up. Okay, so these are some of the things that you should do. I recommend at least 4 to 5 repetitions of this. Really thinking, opening your thigh. At any point you feel tired from this, just stretch out your legs by overcrossing and letting your knee drop. Pushing it downward, pushing your knee downward. So the next thing that we'll work on is opening into a split. And keeping that turn out, you're gonna open as far as you can. As far as you can. The idea is trying to touch your toes to the floor. But again, this is with turn out, just holding it there. So I would give it a while, holding it there. When you feel tired, be careful. I would recommend you bend first, keep them together, and then push them down. That way you don't hurt yourself in the process. The other exercise doing in your backs is jumps, which you're going to imagine that your feet is touching the ceiling. You're jumping from the ceiling. So we'll be working from first jumps and from fifth positions. So I will show you guys I will tell you guys what the name of these jumps are and explain in details the idea and what you should do when you do these. So for the first time, you're gonna do a plie to jump, so completely pointed. So really feel that you're coming off the ground. Now for your fifth positions, you're gonna keep one heel touching the toe. When you jump, automatically switch. It should be a one motion feeling. So up and switch, and switch, up and switch, up and switch. So the other one is a I can never pronounce it, but the idea is a change, but you're beating in front first. So when you're going to jump, you're going to beat in front, go to the back to fit. Jump, beat in front, to the back, fit. So whatever foot is in front, up, 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 up. Okay? Oh, actually, sorry, my bad. That's a royale. The royale is with the feet in front. Asha Chakatra, that's the one I couldn't say, is that you are going a quick back to front motion. So you're not really changing your feet. So you're gonna go back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front. And then when you switch your feet, back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front. Very good. The last thing is jumping through or changing through susu. So previously what we did is here and change. So here you're going to jump straight, change, come back down. Jump straight, change, come down. Jump straight, change, come down. So through the air. Very good. So while we're here, just another stretching to do for your hip and your butt cheeks. So grab the opposite leg, pull it towards the opposite side of your body, over crossing. Another leg, over crossing. Keep the leg bent, go cross and pull upward. Switch and pull upward. Very good. Alrighty. Now here we'll go into a reverse, or it'll be a butterfly, but from your back, lying on your back. So help, and you have to aim to push your knees down onto the floor by keeping your toes bent and your heels touching. You can stay here for a moment. Really feel like you're working. Don't lift your back, don't arch your back. Keep everything on the floor. Very good. And this is another way of practicing your grand pliés. You can go here, all the way first, and bring back up. Okay. From a first position, pointed or flat, you can go up into a passe and stretching it as high as you can to come down. Up and stretch out and coming down. And you do that with the other leg as well. You do that also going to the side. You go up to passe, extend. So see, I'm not going all the way down here. First of all, that'll get your other hip to move, and you might hurt yourself, and that's not the correct almost a cone position. So when you do this, think diagonal. If you need to put your hand on your knee to support it, go ahead. You don't have to go that high. You can even be right here as long as your butt and your hip is not lifting off the floor. You have weight there, you're churning out. And you do that with the other leg. Very good. Oh, before we get into our tummy exercise, let's sit up and go into our side splits. Okay? So over and up. Over and up. Facing your knee. Facing your knee. You're gonna go ear on your knee. You do that to the other side. You're gonna aim for your head in front of your knee. You do that to the other side. You're gonna look behind your leg and you do that to the other side. And looking up, you do that with the other side. Circle, like we would in butterfly, circle all the way around. And reverse it, and then our walking. You're trying to get as low as possible, walking across. And you do that, aiming to touch both your toes at the same time. And then from here, you're going to rely on your turnout and keeping that tail and head alignment straight. So what you're going to do is let yourself get lower and hold it for a little bit, and lower and hold it for a little bit until you can't anymore. So goal really is that you can be right here, but don't let your heels or your toes go forward. Keep them back. And then just go down as far as you can, stretching. And we roll through into our stomach for those who are young and can do it. If you feel like you can't do it, don't worry about it, don't do it. Just get onto your tummy. Everybody else, just pushing forward onto your stomach. Very good. Now that you're on your stomach, Push up and come back down and push up and come back down a few times. Shoulders switching. If you can, balancing on one arm, letting go, letting go. If you're young, you can try to let go of both your arms at the same time and holding it. Then we'll go into the scorpion. So opposite leg goes the opposite way and over. You're grabbing your leg and you're pulling it upwards or towards your head as far as you can. We'll go into frogs. We'll turn around so you can see. Keeping your toes upward, heels together. Do not lift the butt. The idea is pulling your knee forward, close to your body. So this is frog. And then you can touch your toes to your head. And kitty cat stretch. Backwards and upwards. And then we'll be bending our back, concaving, and convexing, if those are correct terminology. But thinking of your lumbar all the way to your cervical spine. So bending up, bending down, bending all the way up, bending down. A few times there. And that is as far as our regular routine. So some of the things that you can do to work on your flexibility are these. So I'm just going to move the camera really quickly onto this wall. So this is something that you can definitely do if you want to practice on your split flexibility, for example. So you're going to go towards the wall and you're going to put your legs out. And what you're going to do, little by little, is pushing yourself towards the wall. That'll help you to open up. Always keep in mind turning out. So basically, you want your face to the wall as you stretch. And this will help you work on your splits. So that's one of those things that you can work on. Alrighty. Now to get into some more serious workouts. Let's pull that back a little bit and upwards. So some of the things that I like to do, move that out of the way, my bad. I like to do some a lunge. So I guess I would recommend, be careful when you do this. You can do it from a sitting position or from a standing position. You're going to let yourself make sure your knee is turned out, keeping that heel flex. You're going to keep this foot front and bending all the way down, keeping your arms forward. If you have the strength, you can just switch. If not, just get to that side and do it. Or use your arms to switch. Okay? From a grand second position here, you can also work on lifting the heels up and down. Lift up and down. And just keep doing that a few times. And completely coming forward and coming up, walking forward. All that good stuff. And here are a few tips to help you out. So I'm going to move that camera back. So a couple of things. I know some of you guys might not have access to this, but if you do have a TheraBand or the stretching bands, I definitely recommend you work on like using them at home. So you grab your band and do some of those leg exercises, your foot. Okay, that will definitely help you great arch support, working on your toes, okay? I also recommend, and I will use this wall, really work on coming up and down, really working on your feet. So here's some tips for feet exercise. You could use a small tennis ball and keep it wedged in between your feet. So for the time being, I'm just gonna improvise and use this bottle that I have here. And I'm gonna put it right here in between the ankle bones that are sticking out. So hopefully this works. And you're gonna really squeeze as you go up and come down. Up and come down. This is gonna help you make sure that you are aligned correctly. So I'm gonna face forward so you can see me. Push up, push down, push up. So you can see I have that straight line going. So that's one of those exercises. The other one, and these are things that you can definitely find at home. So here I have a rag. I'm gonna take my shoe off for the time being. This is gonna help you with arches. So you're going to make sure your heel is there, and with your toe, you're just scrunching. That's all you have to do. Just scrunch, 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 scrunch. And keep scrunching, scrunching, scrunching. Okay, you're gonna work on your arch support. It's gonna help you a lot. Going back to the bottle, and this is perfect, especially if you have heel or arch problems, to freeze your bottle. And I'm gonna imagine I'm putting all my weight. You're just gonna go forward and back. You can even do this, oops, with a tennis ball, or they also have these exercise spike balls. They don't hurt, they just look prickly, but they're gonna hit all the muscles and nerves on your foot. You're just gonna roll back, roll forward, roll back, roll forward, roll back, roll forward. I have mentioned in the past that you can do is that these are balancing exercises. So standing on top of a pillow, holding on to something, balancing on one foot, really work on pushing up and down. So we'll talk about really quickly foot alignment and how to strengthen. So I would start off, if you want to work more on your feet exercise, the first thing that you should do is here. Just press as far as you can, move to the side, far forward as you can, really thinking your arch concaving inward, and switch. So see, I kind of did this, so make sure that doesn't happen. Keeping it forward and straight. A couple of times, and in between, always stretching the ankle and arch from the back. Excuse me, I'm working from my garage and I have a full family with me. So, working on that, holding onto the wall or your chair, anything that you can hold on safely. You can work parallel first. So, pushing up and down. And you can do this with your water bottle. And then with pliés, pushing, pliés, pushing. Okay, and do that from a shoulder length apart and then a little wider. And here is the only time that you can actually not be too straight. So think straightward here rather than straight here, okay? So just straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. And you keep working on that. First position, also just really pressing from your ankles as far, switching and switching and switching and switching. Elevation, first position. Releves from a second position. Elevates and releves. And also, and again, being careful, maybe you can even try these with a softer foot, is pushing like this. So make sure again, you're not sickling, just straight, rolling over your toes and over crossing. Well, give me 1 second. Guys, I'm teaching a class. So sorry about that. But our class is almost over anyways. So again, sorry, from rolling over your ankles. And the last thing that you can do, going over. So you're gonna pretend like, you know, like a little kid who has doing the pee-pee dance. You're gonna cross your feet as aligned as possible over your toe, and then you're going to bend that leg. So I'm gonna come from the side. So this standing leg, you're gonna bend it, and that's gonna force your foot to curve. So again, here. Excuse me, I'm allergic to the dust in here. So curve and pushing down. Very good. So that is all the exercise tips for today. Again, I want to apologize. We're all working under the circumstances, limited space, crowded family. I understand, but the importance is please be safe, work on your distance, wash your hands, and be safe and clean, because when all this is over, I really want to come back and teach you guys. So please keep on working. That way, the next time I see you, you're a better dancer, you're stronger, your flexibility has increased, and I can help you reach your goals. So thank you, everyone, and goodbye.